Hello, you lovely ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mengs, and today I'm joined by my fiancée Bethany, and we're going to take a look at some dresses from Fire Emblem.
Hi. What's up?
Me and Bethany, back when we used to watch House of the Dragon, all I remember from that show was that Bethany would just sit there and critique the dresses. That's all I remember. I don't even remember the main plot. She would just sit and go like, I like that dress, I don't like her dress, that dress is really weirdly made. And I had this crazy idea. There's a lot of dresses in Fire Emblem. Some of them good, some of them quite ridiculous.
Yep.
So today, my fiancé is going to rate dresses from Fire Emblem. So we're going to start off very basic with Azura's Conquest dress.
Okay, this dress I actually have kind of mixed feelings on. I think it's very pretty to look at, and this artwork of it specifically is very beautiful. I love the dark purple. I think it's just a gorgeous shade. It looks really nice with Azura's blue. Keep her with the cool tones. And I like that it doesn't have the side panel cut out like her white dress does. It looks a little more like a complete dress instead of something that's falling apart at the seams. I do like these aspects of the dress. I will say the weird ribbon that is wrapped around her in 15 different ways.
Oh, yeah.
I think it looks kind of dumb. I think the color looks nice with it, and I'm okay with having like it's obviously supposed to look like a wrap without actually being something that functionally holds the outfit together. Because you look, it's real tight on her bodice, but then on her hip where it's holding the little flower medallion thing, holding that to her, but it's very loose and she's got a bow. So it's obviously just there for decoration. Somebody probably sewed those ribbons on top of the bodice. It's not functionally tying it together. But I love her veil. I love her little headdress and the little headband with it. I think it's gorgeous. I will say this about Azura. I hate her leggings because one of them is a legging and the other one is underwear.
I actually didn't notice this. Yeah, she only has one.
You didn't notice?
No, I didn't. I thought, wow, I'm really bad at details.
You just thought she had one leg?
Yeah, maybe.
I can kind of see what they were going for. Like, you still want her to have a leg showing, you know, for the leg guys out there. But I don't see the point in having it be half a legging and then half panty. I understand that Fates is very big on the panties everywhere, so I guess that's just something we'll have to deal with. But I think either make it like a full-on leotard kind of bottom where it's just the underwear kind of shape, because that's like what they do with leotards, or give her full leggings. So either make it so we can see both of her legs or neither of them. And that's all I really have to say. I really like her gloves. I love how they kind of make little flower shapes above her shoulders. I think that's very cute. It works for her silhouette really well.
So what do you rate the dress, like from 1 to 10?
Give it a solid 8 if it weren't for the stupid panty window legging thing. So I'll give it like a 7. I do think Azura's generally very pretty. I think the hair is a bit much. I think she could do with a little less hair.
She has a lot of hair. My goodness, that's a lot of hair.
Oh yeah, like an enemy could just grab her hair and just like swing her around like in the Olympics, like the hammer throw, and then just throw her.
I mean, it literally happens to her in one of the cinematics. Like the shadow hands like literally grabbed her hair. So anyway, we're gonna move on to the next dress right here. This one I think you'll like quite a bit. So.
Oh, best girl!
We have Natasha from Fire Emblem 8.
So, Natasha is best girl, and I will kill anyone who says otherwise. I absolutely think this dress is gorgeous.
Really? It's quite simple.
It's very simple, and that's one of the things I love about it. It fits her character because she is a religious woman, like, she's kind of like this world's equivalent of not necessarily a nun, because she can marry Joshua or Seth, right? That's the other one she gets a paired ending with. Yeah. But like a very religious, you know, and they emphasize modesty and not being very opulent because you want to help people and you don't want to waste that money on opulent clothing and accessories. So I love her white dress. It looks like a wedding dress to me, honestly. It's kind of like a trumpet / mermaid style. I'd probably say that skirt is closer to a mermaid, but the whole thing with the mermaid silhouette is that it's very tight on the hips and the legs, and then at about the knees it flares out a ton. Hers doesn't flare out a ton, which goes to show that it's not super fancy. This isn't something that's going to cost you $1,000, you know? And I like the princess seams on her bodice. It might be hard for you to see them, but they're the lines on her bodice.
Oh.
Those are the seams.
Oh, right.
And an adorable little detail is if you get really close in on her collar, you can see that it's got a little blue jewel in it, and the fabric is some kind of lacy fabric. So they probably took like a layer of lace and overlaid it on top of the white fabric, and it gives it a really nice bit of texture. And it's also on her sleeves too. It's got some kind of like floral pattern on it, I think. So I think that's just an utterly charming detail. And her cloak is, again, it's simple, but it's got a couple elements that make it really interesting. The gold trim on it looks great. I wish there was a way to make gold trim look good in real life, because all this stuff looks cheap as shit.
Yeah, you're right about that. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, so like if you tried to do this in real life, you might have to do some like embroidery with like golden embroidery floss or something like that. Or you'd have to find like some really good quality fabric. It's real easy to find cheap, garbage-looking golden fabric and like bias tape and stuff in real life. But then the inside of her cloak, you can see that it's a gradient. It's a very nice pale blue at the top, and it slowly transitions into a nice purple. I'd almost say like a lilac.
Okay.
Very gorgeous, and you can see it's also on the inside of her hood, and it matches her jewel, and it matches her eyes. So there's like a nice bit of synergy. There's only like 4 or 5 colors in this thing. You got the white, purple, the blue, the yellow of her hair, and then you got like the gold on her cloak. And I think it's a really good look.
So do I even have to ask what you rated out of 10?
I only want to give one 10 out of 10 rating because like that kind of insinuated it's the perfect one. So right now I'll give her a 9.
Oh, okay.
And if I don't see anything better, she'll become a 10.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So 9 out of 10. All right. Let's move on to the next girl.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. This one's going to be great. Here we go.
Oh, you don't want me to throw up on camera, do you, sweetheart? No, listen, this is one of the worst designs I've ever seen in my fucking life. I hate every single aspect of this outfit, and it makes me genuinely angry and rage. Okay, where do I even begin? This thing looks like shit. First of all, ma'am, why is your crown, like, as tall as your face? Green and orange is one of my favorite color combinations. Mm-hmm. Too bad they went with the Shrek Twinkie shade of green. The Shrek Twinkie filling, you know, that delicious, booger snot.
I've seen that.
It looks like they dyed those ribbons in that Shrek Twinkie filling, and then they like pinned it on her dress. I feel like this dress is kind of heavily inspired by Rococo fashion, with the very wide skirt with the pannier that they would use to kind of, you see some stuff where it almost looks comical, that her dress is so wide. Yeah. Like it looks like there's a table. And she's doing a good job of looking like a joke. And so they give her the giant pannier, but then they make the dress really rounded too, so it looks like a bubble. And then they give it the giant frill at the bottom. There's too many things going on. It looks like a first semester fashion student got this idea in their head and they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna revolutionize the fashion industry. Everybody's gonna walk around wearing this. It's too much. The entire character design is too much. I do not like having her be in that black lacy bra thingy that's connected to a choker. Yeah. And then the ribbons look like they're connected to her gloves too. I feel like it looks a little too fetishy on a character that looks very young. Fire Emblem needs to stop putting characters who look like children into outfits like this. I don't need to see right underneath her cleavage in order to find a design interesting, especially if she looks like a child. Those shoes, ma'am, what the fuck are you wearing on your feet? I can't tell. I think it's because of the perspective of the artwork. I can't tell if those are supposed to be ballet point shoes and she's standing on her tiptoes, or if they're like the Japanese sandals that are very tall.
Difficult to say.
So, I like her leggings okay. It's kind of hard to tell because they're only, like, they look like capri pants, but they're like just above her knees.
Yeah, so they're essentially thigh highs.
They're thigh highs, but they're not even socks because they don't go around her feet. If you look, she's got a pair of socks and then she's got the stockings on top of it. Mm-hmm. And then she's got the giant dress with the window with the curtains on it and the Shrek green Twinkie ribbon, and then the giant ruffle on top and the ruffle on the bottom and the corset with the asymmetric skirt right underneath it, and then the corset that just so happens to leave a nice little diamond right underneath her boobs. Yeah, so this is like 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Like, the person who designed this needs to be shot in the streets.
We're gonna move on before Bethany has a meltdown. We're gonna move we're gonna move on to a little bit of a simpler design and one that I think you will like. So we have Serra from FE7.
Aw, Serra! I love this girl. Isn't Sarah's whole backstory that she's like really poor?
She comes from an orphanage, yeah, and she grew up extremely poor, but she pretends to be this like dainty priestess that is like very luxurious, and she basically tries to yell over her trauma, basically. So.
Yeah, modern woman. So I really like this design. I think that shade of purple looks good. I don't know how much I like it with the pink of her hair. Maybe it's just the shade of pink. I don't think they look terrible together, but I think the two colors of her purple scarf and her pink hair are not personally what I like. But that might just be a personal preference of mine. I love her little scarf thingy because she doesn't have like a cloak. She has like a scarf. And her simple white dress, it's kind of like Natasha's in the way that it's tighter around the hips, though Sarah's is definitely more tight. I would call this a mermaid style silhouette. Even though it's shorter, and again, it doesn't like flare out a ton at the bottom, but she's obviously trying to show off what she's got with her very tight dress. So I think it fits her personality perfectly. I like the detail of this white dress that we're seeing on top. It's likely some kind of tunic or overlayer because you can see she's wearing a gray skirt underneath it. She might be wearing an entire gray dress underneath it. We just can't see it. So I like the implication of layering in the clothing because even back in the 1200s, people wouldn't just wear one garment. They'd wear like their dress and then they'd have a surcoat on top or some kind of tabard or tunic that would go on top of it. So I like that, and it makes outfits much more visually interesting. I like her belt with the silver buckle, and it looks like a sapphire on it, and the little chain that's dangling off of it. I can't tell what's hanging off the chain. It almost looks like coins. Maybe like when she runs everywhere, she makes like a ching, 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 ching sound from the coins on her belt.
A warning of her approach.
Yes. Run away, Matthew. I do wish the colors were a little more vibrant. They don't have to be crazy like they are in Engage, but just I feel like some of these colors look a little muted. If they could bring that up a little bit, I'd like it a lot more. But I even love her staff, how it's simple, and her little sapphire on her staff matches her belt. But I'd give this like a 7.5. Not bad, not bad.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's move all over to the next dress. And I know you'll like this one.
My girl, Elise. Oh my goodness. Oh, my sweet girl. So, I've thought a lot about this design. Elise is kind of an anomaly for me in Fire Emblem. I should hate everything about her, but she's my sweet girl, so she's okay. She kind of has, if you start looking at Fates in general, you see a lot of patterns and recurring kind of motifs in the outfits of characters. If you look at her boots and those pink ribbons on her boots, who do they remind you of?
I have no idea. I don't notice details like that.
Oh, you didn't pay. This is like 5 minutes ago, babe.
Oh.
Azura.
Oh.
On her dress with the crisscrossing ribbons and the bows. This is something you'll see a lot in Fate's artwork. And I find it can be a bit much at times. I don't think she needs to have those pink ribbons on her boots. Her bodice, her little vest thing. I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about how somebody would sew this, and you'd have to like cut out the specific shapes in some kind of silver leather kind of thing, and then sew them together. And I actually think that would be kind of a cool project. I've always wanted to make Elise's outfit because it looks like it would be fun to make. I love her little capelet. I love her loose kind of bishop sleeves and her gloves. They're super cute. And I love that she is not sexualized. Like, she is a lolly character. But look, she's covered up almost completely. Yeah, you can see parts of her thighs, which, like, you know, Fate's designer, get it together.
It's Japan. It's unavoidable.
Yeah, and it's not nearly, like, they could have done so much worse. They could have pulled a Noe with her, you know? Yeah. And they didn't. And I really appreciate that. I love the pleats on her little neckline up here. I think it's a really interesting detail. it reminds me of like a riding outfit, like for horseback riding, which I
which
guess
makes
works
sense.
because she's a troubadour.
Yeah.
So specifically like her top, obviously you wouldn't want to wear like a poofy little lolly mini skirt to go, horseback riding or something, but it fits her character. And I like how as a detail, and this might sound kind of weird, but you can see it in the cutscenes and Fates, she's wearing bloomers underneath it, which is a really cute little note because bloomers, they're like, if they had her wearing like certain anime undergarments, I would have actually like thrown my DS at the wall. Now, personally, I would say I like this one more than Natasha's. But I think it's also just because I'm very biased towards Elise. I love this girl. Now, objectively, do I like her design more? I do think it's a bit much. There are definitely places where they could have toned it back a little bit. So I will give her like an 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
And
I love you, girl. I'm so sorry.
since we've already covered Elise, it only makes sense to continue with Sakura.
Oh, I thought you were going to put Camilla.
Oh, no.
I don't like Sakura as much as Elise, though I love her to death. But I think her design looks better than Elise's.
Really?
Generally. The big thing I don't really like about Elise's outfit is how the skirt looks. I think they should have done something that wasn't so poofy. I actually like the silhouette of Sakura's skirt because, it flares out, but it's not like crazy. This girl, I think she's got a gorgeous design. I like her hair and her cute little headband with the little cherry blossoms in it. And let's look at her colors. So she got the salmon, the red, white, the gold. She's got a blue sash on her corset. And she's got like a darker shade of red for her battle, like her skirt armor. So she's got like 5, 6 colors. So they're not going too crazy, and all of these colors look good together. That shade of blue goes wonderfully with that shade of red on her battle corset, because it looks like her corset and the skirt armor are the same piece. So maybe she just puts on the dress and then she just like ties on her metal corset, whatever, and it's all connected. I love the look of these stockings. I love the in Fates. Also the what are they? The maids have the kind of shape for the stockings where it's lower in the middle and it goes up towards the sides. I think it's cute. I think this suits her so perfectly. And her gloves, I love her gloves. I love fingerless gloves that like go down and they cover.
They're very pretty.
Yeah, they're so cute. They work so well at making you look elegant. So I would give this like 8.5 out of 10. There's nothing really wrong with it. I don't love the shoes, but they're not like a big problem. And I think it's just a really solid design.
All right.
So.
Well, we've had some pretty solid designs, so I think it's about time we take a look at some of the more weird designs.
Oh, God.
To be fair, I don't even know if this constitutes as a dress, but here we got Aversa from Fire Emblem Awakening.
I guess it's kind of a dress. It's hard to tell because you can't see the front. Because they wanted to get the ass shot in for heroes.
We can bring up a picture of her front as well. I'll get it.
Her design, the positives, I really like those shades of purple. I think they look good, and I think they look really good with the black of her hip armor. If we're going by my personal opinions, I don't love it. I don't like the hoe socks. I like the lace on her little the little back parts of her skirt. I think that's actually really, really well drawn. And if you like titty, you got titty.
Yeah,
so
true that.
Again, I will fully admit that I'm biased in this area, so I don't want to give it like a terrible thing.
Yeah.
We'll go middle of the road. We'll do like a 6 out of 10. I don't think like the colors look good, and I like her hair. So.
All right. Well, from one sultry, dark character to another, I'm actually very curious what you're gonna have to say about this one. So we got bridal Tharja right here.
Oh my God, sweetheart. She watched Twilight and wanted like a vampire wedding. Okay, here's the thing. I actually love Tharja's original outfit.
Really?
I like how she's actually covering most of her body, but half of it's in this like sheer mesh material that's almost like like for pantyhose. So she's covered, but it's completely sheer. It's like a darker color on her skin. I find that very visually interesting. So I like that they incorporate that in this outfit. If this is supposed to be a wedding dress,
yeah,
girl, Girl, where's the skirt? Where's the skirt, hun? I actually really like Tharja's little circlet on her head. I think it's super cute and it works really well with her hairstyle.
Oh, yeah.
Again, the colors on this look great. The purple, specifically the purple on the sashes around her waist. That's a very vibrant purple compared to the rest of the outfit. And the gold goes really well with it. Gold and purple is a classic combination. It's kind of weird how the dress can be super, super flowy, but also be tight enough to her body that you can see her belly button through it. But I know that's just anime fantasy.
That's anime in a nutshell. Like selectively skin tight dresses. Yeah.
So that's just the nature of the medium. I actually really like the look of the feathers on top of the skirt, like as an overlayer. The feathers are very pretty, and I just love how they draw the feathers because the light hits them so beautifully. The boobs are falling out. Sweetheart. But again, if you like boobs, then this is perfect for you. I've always hated in Fire Emblem the gloves that the brides wear. It's like they're long gloves and then they just like explode at the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, so I always thought they could look kind of weird, and you can tell she has them, but it's kind of hard to see them because her hair is kind of flying everywhere. Again, I'll give this another coom out of 10, probably a 5. I like Aversa. I like Aversa's more. This is, honey, stop.
Well, there is one more bridal female character I'd like to get your opinion on.
Okay.
You probably saw this one coming, but what do you think about bridal Louise?
This is how I want the bridal dresses to look.
Really?
So, first off, her gloves. They do kind of explode at the shoulder, or not at the shoulder, above the elbow, like the other ones do. So again, it's like very tight on her arm and then up her forearm. And then once you get to the elbow, it just kind of explodes. It's very poofy. She does have that a bit, but it's actually not too much. And I think it makes her silhouette look very pretty. It makes her shoulders look very petite. Which I think is just gorgeous. I love that her neckline on her top, again, you see all the seams, so you know this is a very fitted corset type bodice that has a lot of work put into it. But she has her little pin from her cloak up on the neck. Right. You see, it's got the little kind of is it an M shape?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, the little McDonald's logo on her on her wedding dress. And these colors are so gorgeous, and her hair is so beautiful. Like this shade of yellow, like a golden blonde, is just the prettiest in the world, I feel, for her hair. And putting the flowers in her hair, she is the Lady of Violet, so it fits perfectly. The feathers on her overskirt look so graceful and elegant. And as you can see, like, this is another bridal gown, but you notice it's not like poofing out, you know? It's not like a ball gown necessarily. This is more like an A-line, a very full A-line skirt. She's probably got a petticoat on underneath it that's helping it poof out. And she's got like her basic skirt that has the purple gradient at the bottom. Lovely purple gradient. We love it. Then she's got her white and gold embroidered overskirt, and then on top of it she's got the feathers. That white and gold underskirt is probably my favorite thing in the outfit, actually.
Yeah.
I love the silhouette it gives her. It just makes it look so flared at the bottom while not being poofy at the top. And her sash on her hips looks gorgeous. And they made her silver bow just look so beautiful with the flowers on it.
The bow is really nice. I like it a lot.
But this is gorgeous. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. She's like tied up there with Natasha for who's going to be number 1.
Wow, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. This one is another controversial design, and I'm curious as to what you have to say about it. This is Ivy from Fire Emblem Engage.
I think this dress just looks like shit, honestly. Let's start at her shoes.
Yeah.
Why do her shoes have unicorn horns?
I never noticed. I never even noticed.
You see it, right?
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I do.
Her shoes are white, and she's got like a hot pink heel, but she's also got a hot pink unicorn horn on her shoe. It looks tacky. That thing is going to get caught in your dress every single time you move. I mean, that dress is so long, you're going to catch it anyway. So I guess if you really want to catch it, like if you're an overachiever, you could wear this. Thigh-high fishnet stockings with, are those roses on them? You can have the thigh-high stockings, you can have the fishnets, but I think having both on the same, like a thigh-high fishnet, thigh-highs are sexy, fishnets are sexy. You don't have to do both. I feel like it's a bit of overkill.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it would work if it didn't have the roses on them. I feel like you could work with 2 of these design elements in the stockings, but not both. You gotta pick one and just throw it away.
Yeah, from a guy perspective, there's like sexy, graceful, and cute. If you add too much sexy, you become a stripper.
Yeah, like she looks like a prostitute who got flown out to Dubai once.
I think it's so funny when you see the cutscenes in Elusia and Engage, which is they're always like snowy and blizzardy in the background. It looks like it's like -20 below freezing there. And then you see like Ivy just casually walk around in this outfit. Yeah. And it's so jarring. It's like...
They could have made this work by having her be from like a warm nation.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the next part of her outfit, she's got like this weird, if you keep going up her leg, she's got like a drapey piece of fabric. I can accept that's part of the dress. That doesn't necessarily look bad. And then she's got like, it looks like underwear that she's wearing.
I think it's her panties.
I don't understand why you need that as well as the drapey part. Like, again, it's like you can have one of these things and it doesn't necessarily look bad, but you have both. So it feels like too much. Honestly, for all intents and purposes, I think the shade of blue on her dress is freaking gorgeous. And I like the gradient of it becoming a darker shade of blue as you go further down the dress. I think those colors are gorgeous. I don't like the hot pink of the roses. I'm not saying it doesn't look good with the dark blue, but this shade of hot pink, I associate 100% with Barbie. And I like Ken. I am Knuff.
Yeah.
So
we're all Knuff.
So it's her. Do we even have to talk about the barbecue grill?
No, we can leave that out of there. It's been talked enough about. It's
really hard to give this a number. I'll give it. I do think she looks better than Wedding Tharja. Because I think that's kind of a train wreck. It's just like a 6.
Okay, 6 out of 10. Got 2 more dresses I want to show you. This one I threw in just for you because I know you'll love it and I know you would like to talk about it. So here we go. We got
best girl.
We got Tatiana from Fire Emblem Echoes.
Okay, so this dress, I love and hate this dress at the same time.
Really?
First of all, Tatiana is the best girl in all of Echoes. Sit down, Claire. You have no place here. Okay.
Objectively wrong.
Sorry, not sorry, sweetheart. Like, I love everything about Tatiana's design except for her dress. Really? I love her hair, her little headpiece, veil kind of looking thing with her little jewel in her forehead. I think the sash that she's holding around her arms is absolutely stunning. I love the colors on it. I love that you can see the gold embroidery and the tassels, and all the colors just look amazing. Her gloves, they're fine. I mean, they're typical, like everybody at Echoes wears those kind of like off-white gloves with the golden embroidery. Looks fine. And the colors on her dress, like that shade of green on her chest and on her overskirt is one of my favorite colors. And I think it looks super good with her hair, which that shade of green for her hair is just, it's just so pretty. That said, the dress, it's so close to being the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I hate it. Oh. I hate her little armor bra. Why is that there? It looks weird. It does. It does. And I don't feel like this is me being a prude. I feel like it just looks weird that it's there.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I don't get it. I like her little dark green vest thing. I feel like, but they had to like emphasize her boobs with the armor bra thing.
I think without it, she would have looked very flat.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to go for, but this also ties into the next part of the dress that I'm going to dive into. Her waist.
Yeah.
This dress does not accentuate her waist at all. It looks like she barely has one.
Yeah, you're right about that, actually.
So if they had given her more of a waist and made this dress look a little more form-fitting, then they wouldn't have needed, like, she wouldn't look so naturally flat because there would be some curvage there to give it more visual appeal. And it's weird because I've seen this dress redrawn in Heroes, and I think it looks significantly better in Heroes, actually.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Let's actually bring up her Heroes artwork. You think it looks better here?
I think it does. I don't like the general art style better because I think the Echo's art style is just the most beautiful the series has ever looked. But the way the dress was drawn looks so much better to me here. As you can see, she actually has a waist.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this is actually something I just thought of. Her armor bra looks a lot lower in her Echo's artwork. And you know what that does?
What?
It makes it look like you have saggy titties. And I don't want to think that about Tatiana, because you can tell she's supposed to be very beautiful. So this artwork does make her dress look better. Tatiana, you're my best girl in Echoes, and I love you to death. But your dress is not all that. That said, everything else about her design is 10 out of 10, so I'll give her like a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. All right. So I've saved my favorite dress for last, and let's have a test to see how well you know your fiancé here. So it's not a girl that we've seen before. So like, Louise is Louise is not going to show up. Can you guess which character it is?
Are you going to give me a hint?
Genealogy of the Holy War.
Deidre.
No.
What? You know, best girl and Deidre's best girl? Oh, Ishtar. Okay.
I don't blame you for not getting this one because you haven't played Genealogy. But Ishtar is like, I think she ended up on like my 3rd place in my waifu tier ranking. And I think that this like legendary heroes, I didn't like the first artwork they put out of her. It looked awful. She looked blocky and weird. But this one was, in my opinion, it was perfect. So what do you think about her dress?
This is stunning, I gotta say. The artist did an incredible job. She looks so beautiful without it looking trashy. Okay, first of all, her hair, it's gorgeous. She's got kind of like the typical, everybody in FE4 and 5 has a ton of volume in their hair.
Yeah, long hair.
That long, big, like giant hair, but it's kind of got that kind of anime 90s look kind of to it, so it doesn't piss me off like it doesn't Engage. So I love her hair, and having all the flowers in it is just, it's so nice, and they all look so good with, it's like a silvery, kind of lilac-y hair. Her cloak is beautiful. Those colors, the red is so beautiful, and it looks so good with the white, the really dark. Again, it doesn't feel like a black dress. It feels like a shade of purple that is one drop away from being black. I think it's beautiful. The gold trim on it is gorgeous. And also on her cloak, you can see she's got the detailed trim as well. And the slit in her skirt, you can tell it's a mermaid skirt, but it's got a slit in it, so that it adds a little bit more of the sexy kind of factor to it. But it also doesn't come off as trashy, which is so important, because if this came out in Engage, like, I feel like this is what Ivy should have been. This kind of like classy, you know, she shows off what she does, but she doesn't show off everything at once like Ivy does. But I'll give her like an 8 out of 10. I think this is absolutely stunning. Again, it's so classy while being, you know, still sexy for the people who want that without being trashy. So.
All right, well, I think that's enough for now. If you guys want to see my fiancé rate more dresses, then, you know, leave a comment, give a like, and maybe we'll see Bethany back on this channel again.
Okay, I forgot to give. So Natasha is retroactively changed to a 10 out of 10 because she was the best.
All right.
My personal favorite.
Anyway, guys, that's it. See you guys. Bye.